I now want to talk to you about creating users on your local computer as well as in a Microsoft domain. So we'll start by looking at how we can create a user account on the local Windows 10 computer, and then we'll also take a look at the domain side of it. Okay. So if I wanted to create a user account on my local computer, one of the easiest ways to do that would just be to come down here to search, and then I'm going to type the word computer, and you'll see computer management. Open that up. And once computer management is open, you're going to notice a tool called local users and groups. Keep in mind that you can't do this on the home edition of Windows 10. It's got to be on Pro, Enterprise, something like that. Okay. So I'm going to go to local users and groups. I'm going to click users, and this is where my user accounts currently exist. Notice that the little black arrow that's pointing down there, that is indicating that these accounts are disabled at the moment. So nobody can log on to those accounts at the moment. So if I wanted to create a user account, I can come up here to the action menu, click new user, and then give the username. Maybe I want to call this user John Smith, and then the full name is going to be John Smith. Okay, give it a description, give it a password if you want. Well, you kind of need to give it a password, right? Usually. And then you could specify if the user has to change password at next logon if you want. That would make, you would give the user the password and they would log on and then they'd have to change it. You could say the user can never change the password, or password never expires. We haven't gotten really into password policies yet, but passwords can expire and then have to be reset after a certain amount of time for security reasons. You could also just disable the account. Maybe this person is not going to start the company yet. You just want to create the account and disable it for now, and then later when they join, you could enable it if you wanted. So those are your different settings there, and then I could click to create and click close, and I've now got myself a user account that a person could use to log on. Okay, so for example, I could sign out of this computer right now, and then I could sign in as that user if I wanted to. Now that I'm logged off, I can actually log on as John Smith simply by going here and clicking Other User. Alright, if it was a local user, I can actually do this thing where I put a dot backslash, and then it's going to let me log on to the local computer as a user. So I'm going to put in John Smith and then the password, and then at that point it's going to log on as John Smith. And it'll take it a minute or so to actually create the user's profile and all that, because this is the first time he's ever logged on. And then at that point he'll get to his desktop. So as you can see it's going to take several minutes for that to finish, and then eventually it'll see the desktop. So while we wait on that, we're going to jump over and take a look at creating a user on Active Directory. So jumping over here to my domain controller, I'm going to click Start, and I'm going to open Server Manager. Just like before, Server Manager is sort of the starting point when working with Active Directory and creating accounts through that. So just waiting on this little bar to stop. That indicates that it's ready. So then we're going to click Tools and go to Active Directory Users and Computers again. And let's say I wanted to create a user in the domain that's in the New York OU here. So I'm going to go to Users. I'm going to go to the Action menu and New and User. By the way, the Action menu is the same thing as a right click. Alright, it's a little bit more touchscreen friendly if you're using that. But I'm going to click user, and then I'd put the user's name in. So I was going to create a username Jane Doe, first name Jane, last name Doe, Jane Doe. And at that point, click next, give Jane Doe a password. Alright, and then you've seen these before. They're the same thing as with the local user account. Okay, so I'm going to click next, finish, and I've now officially created myself a user account in the domain. So if the client computer was authenticating to a Microsoft domain, this person could use this account to get logged on. Keep in mind, this is just a regular user at the moment. This user can't log on to a server, but it could log on to a Windows 10 computer. Okay, so back here on NYCCL1, this is the Windows 10 client. I've logged on as John Smith, and as you can see, it is allowing John Smith to choose some of his privacy settings. He can disable online speech recognition if he wants, or turn that on or off. Inking and typing, if he wants to turn that on. This is for trying to improve things like language recognition and all of that, as well as the way he types. Advertising ID, this is going to try to provide personalized advertisements. Keep in mind that when you're working in the Microsoft Store and all that, it's going to advertise to you anyway. It's just this is going to try to personalize it. You've got location. If you wanted to turn that off, you could. This would support things like your GPS location-based systems. And then tailored experience. So the goal here is to try to provide you with some information. It records diagnostic information and tries to provide things like personalized tips and other little recommendations. These little pop-up balloons will show up in the lower right-hand corner of your Windows 10 environment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept this agreement, and at that point, it's going to log me on, and there is officially my desktop. So as you can see, John Smith is now logged on and is officially a user in this Windows 10 environment.